the young, and the restless spoilers. Welcome back to our channel, Genoa City Gossips. Today is a beautiful day to dive deep into the absolute madness that just went down on our favorite soap. Grab your coffee, or maybe something stronger, because we have so much to unpack, and I am bursting at the seams. Let's get right into it. I cannot believe they actually went there. I am literally sitting here staring at my screen at 2 a.m. because my brain is just spinning out of control after this latest episode of The Young and the Restless. Like, are we entirely serious right now? 6 massive, life altering changes hitting Genoa City all at once. I feel like I have been hit by a truck. I have been watching this show religiously since 2015, and I have seen some wild stuff. But this week, this week is going down in history as one of the most chaotic, frustrating, and yet totally addictive weeks we have ever had. I need to get this out of my system before I explode. So let's just break this down because I am losing my mind. First of all, we have to talk about Phyllis Summers. I am so mad I could scream, but I am also kind of impressed. I don't even know anymore. I can't believe she actually caved and handed Newman Enterprises back to Victor Newman. After all that fighting, after the insane AI email framing scheme where she literally got Christine arrested in open court, which, by the way, was peak soap opera perfection, she just gives the company back. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Victor cornered her with that shocking offer she couldn't refuse. He had her dead to rights with the new DA coming in. So Phyllis gives up the company, thinking her dreams of being a top-tier corporate queen are completely dead and buried in the dirt. But then Victor, the ultimate puppet master, actually makes her dream come true. He is setting her up with Arabesque. What is happening? Victor Newman does not just give gifts out of the goodness of his cold, black heart. He expects her to stay completely quiet about whatever shady backdoor deals are happening right now. And you know what? I know some people are loving this alliance, but personally, I am terrified for her. Remember when they tried this dynamic years ago? Yeah, didn't work then either. Victor is going to use her as a human shield the second things go sideways. But I kind of want to see Phyllis run Arabesque and crush it, so I am incredibly torn. Am I the only one who feels like Phyllis is walking straight into a wood chipper with a smile on her face? She thinks she won, but Victor always holds the trump card. Always. Let me expand on this Phyllis situation because it is genuinely keeping me awake. I have been analyzing her every move since she first rolled into town. Phyllis has always been her own worst enemy. The way she isolated Michael, the way she screamed at Lauren, she was spiraling so hard over that AI evidence. She had literally painted herself into a corner where her only way out was to surrender her entire legacy to Victor. But Victor giving her Arabesque, that is not a gift. That is a gilded cage. He is going to use Arabesque to launder money or hide assets or do something incredibly illegal. And Phyllis is going to be the one holding the bag when the feds come knocking. I am calling it right now. She thinks she is finally getting the respect she deserves as a top-tier businesswoman, but Victor is just fattening up the calf for slaughter. And the worst part is, she is too blinded by her own ego to see it. I want to jump through the screen and shake her. Okay, back to the point, because we have a literal life or death situation happening with Nikki Newman, and I am genuinely stressed. We all knew those headaches were not just her MS acting up. Victoria has been practically begging her mother to see a doctor for weeks, and Nikki, being the stubborn Newman matriarch that she is, just brushed it off. And now she needs immediate, intensive medical treatment, like drop everything, code red emergency treatment. I am so scared they're going to kill her off. But they wouldn't do that to Melody Thomas Scott, right? Right? I am freaking out. Nikki is facing the fight of her life, and honestly, seeing her vulnerable like this after all the tension with Victor is just heartbreaking. And this leads me to the absolute best part of this whole medical crisis. Nate Hastings is finally going back to medicine. Yes. Oh my gosh. I have been screaming at my television for over a year about this. I am sorry, but corporate CEO Nate was the most boring, soul-sucking version of this character we have ever seen. He belongs in a hospital, saving lives, not sitting in a boardroom arguing about stock prices and mergers. Because Nikki is Victoria's mom, and Nate obviously still cares deeply about both of them, he is stepping up. He is returning to his roots as a brilliant doctor to help save Nikki's life. This is the redemption arc Nate desperately needed. I am so here for Dr. Nate Hastings making a comeback. If he is the one who pulls Nikki back from the brink, all is forgiven. Well, almost all. I need to talk about the Victoria angle here, too. Victoria has been watching her mother pop painkillers and rub her temples for weeks, completely helpless. Now that it is a full-blown crisis, Victoria is going to lean heavily on Nate. Could this spark a reunion between Nate and Victoria? I mean, they had that corporate romance that fizzled out because Nate was too power hungry. But now Nate is back in his scrubs, acting like a hero, saving her mother's life. Victoria is going to look at him with stars in her eyes all over again. I kind of want to see it, but I also want Nate to just focus on his patients for 5 minutes without turning it into a networking opportunity or a romance. But this is Genoa City, so we know that's not going to happen. Because speaking of things I cannot forgive, can we talk about Lily Winters and Kane Ashby? I am so done. I am throwing my hands up in the air. I mean, are we really doing this again? Lily is actually deciding she wants to be with Kane after he literally extorted her? Let's rewind for a second. Malcolm Winters was dying. He desperately needed a bone marrow transplant. Kane was the only match. And what did Kane do? He used his own father-in-law's impending death to blackmail Lily into giving him power at Chancellor Winters. That is top-tier villain behavior. That is disgusting. But now Lily is just melting because he went through with the procedure and saved Malcolm. She is falling for him again. Stockholm Syndrome. Much? I know the Lane fans are probably throwing a massive party on Twitter right now, and I get it. The chemistry is legendary. But come on, how does she just sweep that level of manipulation under the rug? Sometimes I contradict myself because I do love their history, but right now I just want to shake Lily and tell her to wake up. He held her family hostage for a corporate power grab. You don't just kiss and make up after that. But of course, she is totally caving, and they are gearing up for a full-blown reunion. I am dreading it, but I know I'm going to watch every single second of it like the trash panda I am. Honestly, the Kane and Lily situation is just a symptom of a larger problem on this show. Why do these strong, independent women always go back to the men who treat them the worst? Lily built Chancellor Winters into an absolute empire. She is a queen. And Kane? Kane is a liar. He has always been a liar. From the moment he showed up pretending to be Philip Chancellor III, he has been pulling scams. The fact that he used Malcolm's bone marrow, literally his own brother's lifeblood, as a bargaining chip is the lowest of the low. And Lily just forgives him because he has nice abs and an accent. I am screaming. I know they have kids together. I know they have history, but come on. And if that wasn't enough Kane drama, the writers are bringing back his alter ego. Aristotle Dumas is making a comeback. You guys, I literally gasp. Kane might have tried to change his stripes, but that grifter mentality is baked into his DNA. Aristotle Dumas is the ultimate wild card. Why is he coming back? Because Victor Newman is a petty, vindictive old man who is using Matt Clark to get revenge. Victor has Matt hiding out at the Newman Ranch, specifically to spy on Kane and gather dirt to destroy him. But Kane is no idiot. He is going to find out what Victor and Matt are up to, and he is going to have to unleash Aristotle Dumas to protect Lily and Chancellor Winters. I mean, think about it. Matt Clark is a psychopath who has terrorized the Newmans for decades, and now Victor is employing him. It is pure insanity. Kane bringing out his dark side to go toe-to-toe with Matt Clark and Victor Newman is exactly the kind of unhinged soap opera camp I live for. Remember when Kane faked his death and we had all that twin drama? This feels like a return to that era, and honestly, I kind of love it. If Kane is going to be a bad guy, let him be a full-on, unapologetic bad guy. Bring on Aristotle Dumas. We are about to see a chess match between two absolute sociopaths, and Lily is caught right in the middle. I am terrified for her, but I am also popping popcorn because this is going to be legendary television. Wait, I need to take a breath because my heart rate is spiking. Let's pivot to the final bombshell that just dropped on us. Mariah Copeland is being released from the mental health facility. Oh boy, I have so many feelings about this. On one hand, I love Mariah. I want her to be healthy. I want her to be back with Tessa and Aria, and I want her to heal. She went through absolute hell. But on the other hand, she kidnapped Dominic. She took Devin and Abby's baby because she had a severe psychological break. Devin Winters is absolutely losing his mind over her release, and I am sorry, but I am entirely on his side here. I know Sharon is playing the protective mama bear, and I know Abby is surprisingly showing some mercy, but Devin has every right to be terrified. He filed petitions to keep her locked up, and now she is just walking free. The tension is going to be thick enough to cut with a knife. Devin is going to handle this terribly. I can already see it. He is going to be rigid, he is going to be angry, and he is going to lash out. Devin has been through so much trauma with losing Hillary, losing his hearing, and then finally getting a child, only to have that child ripped away from him by someone he trusted. Devin's rigidness isn't just him being a jerk, it is a trauma response. He is protecting Dominic the only way he knows how. When Mariah walks out of that facility, she's going to expect open arms and forgiveness because she was sick. But mental illness is an explanation, not an excuse for the damage caused. Devin is going to lay into her, and it is going to break my heart. But he is right. Mariah has to face the music. She needs to look at herself in the mirror and realize the absolute devastation she caused. It is not going to be a happy homecoming. It is going to be brutal, emotional warfare. I am so nervous for her, but I am also kind of mad at her. See, this is why this show ruins my life. I can't even figure out whose side I am on because the writers are doing such a good job of making everyone's pain feel so real. This week of The Young and the Restless has completely rewired my brain. Between Phyllis making deals with the devil, Nikki fighting for her life, Nate finding his calling again, Lily losing her mind over Kane, Aristotle Dumas returning to fight Matt Clark, and Mariah walking back into a war zone with Devin. Genoa City is literally shaking on its foundation. I don't know if my heart can take what is coming next, but you better believe I will be glued to my screen tomorrow. Are you guys as stressed as I am? Please tell me I am not the only one losing sleep over these fictional people. Let me know in the comments. if you agree with me or if you think I am completely off base. Until tomorrow's episode, I am going to try to get some sleep